qualified team accompanies you on-site at all times to show you the right installation process with the right tools and provides you with technical solutions. The rolls are stored vertically. The storage temperature must be at least 15 degrees Celsius for 48 hours prior to laying. The rounded nosing will have a minimum radius of 12 millimeters. It must not have a beak molding. The nosing will be perfectly regular and rectilinear. All steps must be particularly even and the treads horizontally aligned. The colored strip has thin, close striations for the nosing and broad, spaced-out striations for the tread. A roll of marche complet is wide enough to do 2 steps. The treads being opposite, the width of the roll allows you to cover from the same cut length. Straight steps up to 32 centimeters deep, or tapered steps from 0 to 55 centimeters deep. Mark a pencil line on the back of the cut length of vinyl in the center of the band of thin, close striations and parallel to them. Mark a second line on the step in the middle of the rounded part of the nosing. These lines will ensure uniform positioning of all steps once the covering has been laid. The temperature of the room and the subfloor must not exceed 10 degrees Celsius. The lengths are to be cut, leaving sufficient excess material for laying. Begin laying at the bottom step, each riser part of the covering overlapping the step part. Before spreading, sweep the surfaces to be glued thoroughly, the steps and the back of the covering. A double spread of PU-type contact adhesive is applied to the substrate and to the marche complet to avoid the risk of migration of the adhesive and the substrate. Using the manufacturer-recommended adhesive, Helmniper 55 by Forbo Sarlon, apply the specified quantity of 150 grams per meter per pass with a very fine spreader or a brush. Leave for approximately 10 minutes. The adhesive should no longer be sticky to touch. Roll the covering with the glued underside facing out, then unroll onto the substrate, matching up the 2 lines marked earlier. Press down from the nosing towards the back of the step on the tread, then down, eliminating the air with the smoothing hammer and pallet. Use the heater to soften the vinyl. Trim the covering at the edge of the stringer and the back of the step. At the landing step, join the sheet vinyl at the limit of the colored strip to avoid any differences in shade between the sheet and the marche complet being noticeable. "24 hours after laying, seams are completed at the back of the steps in the horizontal plane with the aid of a special needle. A heat welding seam can also be made with a 4 mm diameter bead after grooving with a hand gouge, then finished with a 6 mm diameter trimming gouge. The usual trimming process is followed by an additional operation, in case of a difference in thickness between the two materials, using a flat bladed trimming gouge to eliminate any excess bead. Forbo Sarlon proposes a toolkit specially adapted to vinyl floorings. "24 hours after laying. Initial maintenance shall not be carried out until at least 48 hours after work has been completed. Use a dry scour such as Jontech Renov. Do not scrub too hard. Then rinse and allow to dry. Use a dry scour even on shoe marks. Use white spirit for adhesive stains. Forbo Sarlon provides comprehensive service for layers in its training center located in the factory.